anniversary plot sale promotion. Kondwani limodzi ndi Innobuild Private Limited pokwanitsa zaka 6 ikutumikirani popeza plot yanu lero mwamsanga maplot 50 omwe alipo ku Lilongwe. Guzani Airwing Site 12, Airwing Site 8, Airwing Site 11D. Ku Blantyre Nyambadwe ndi Lunzu, Zomba 4 miles, Salima mbremamso wa Sengabe, Mangochi Ndata Site, Kasungu pafupi ndi Admark, Mzuzu Dunduzu. Maplotiwa awatsitsatu mtengo pokondwera zaka 6 zomwe Innobuild Private Limited ikukutumikirani. Ndipo promotion iyi inayamba pa 25 July ndipo idzatha pa 7 September 2022. Pezani ploti kuchokera ku Innobuild Private Limited omwe ayambira pa mtengo wa 399,000 kwacha kufikira 999,000 kwacha yokha basi. Kumzuzu a Innobuild Private Limited ali moyang'anizana ndi bwalo la masewero la Katoto mu nyumba ya Peace pafupi ndi Reserve Bank ya Malawi, floor ya mwamba, room number 1. Ku Blantyre ali mu nyumba ya Dosani moyang'anizana ndi khoti lakale pafupi ndi shop ya Bakali. Ndipo ku Lilongwe a Innobuild Private Limited akupezeka mu Innobuild House mbali mwa msewu wa bypass pa Zamkutu. Ma offices a Innobuild Private Limited amatsegula tsiku lililonse kuyambira Sunday mpaka Friday ndi masiku ena onse a holiday. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri imbani foni pa 0888 002 899, 0991 148 500, kapena 0993 886 257. Innobuild Private Limited, kupanga Malawi kukhala wa Malawi eni yake.
Malata takhala kuti ali mmudzi wawo nzichidziwikire kuti mfumu yawo ingakhale bawo malata. Malata osachititsa manyazi ugulu wa anthu. Masiku ano sofulira nyumba ndi malata opanda mvunda, dzibiri ndi laulemu, koma pena timachita kulira mbadala. Bawo malata mbambande opindidwa kwathu konkuno. Nkhani yabwino ndiyo kuti pambali pa Lilongwe bawo malata yakhazikikanso mu mzinda wa Blantyre, komwe mudzichita kuona lata lakumtima kwanu likupindidwa mu nthawi yochepa ndi makina pamwamba. Ku Blantyre tikupezeka pa Christwick, mukapeza chikwangwani cha RK Plastics kotani sewu umenewo, ndipo kumanja kwanu maso anu sasochera popeza pomwe pali bawo malata siposowa. Tili ndi malata a mitundu yonse ndipo mutha kugula pa layby pa mtengo wozizira kwa basi. Tiyimbireni phone pa 0998 000 491, 0997 621 635, komanso 0996 745 781. Bawo malata mbambande. This message is powered by Africa.
Tawi namudanena kuti ayi mumatha kupempherera ngakhale galimoto yoti ilibe injini mpaka nekhoza kulira ndinakumvani mukunena mawu amenewo. Ndiye sindziwa ngati zimene zikugwaso mugawo loti simungathe kuyankhapozo kapena ndizoti mukhoza kulongoza.
Yeah, as I said that such type of questions I wouldn't answer that, and okay. I don't even remember me saying a statement ndimatha kupemphera galimoto yopanda injini. I really don't think I ever made that statement like that. However, I am a person who believes in impossibilities. Okay, I do believe that miracles exist, and I believe that God can perform a miracle, and I do believe that He can do it. I don't believe that I'm a miracle worker or I can heal a person. I've never claimed that before. I believe that Jesus heals. I can pray for a person, but God heals.
Anthu ena amaona kuti machitidwe ato maprofeti amasiku ano amakhala ngati mmachita zinthu mwamanyado kwambiri, kudzionetsera, kudzitamandira. Ndiye ena amadabwa kuti zimenezi paliso uzimu wina uliwonse pamenepa, mwina kuonetsa ku mpingo chuma chimene muli nacho, kuti ine ndimavala zovala zodula, ndi ndi galimoto lodula, ndili ndi nyumba yodula, ndi zinthu zina zotero.
Kuonetsa bwanji,
kuonetsa mwina pa screen, kumaonetsa anthu kapena kumanena mu mpingo muchali chimu chakuti ndi zakuti.
Yeah, sometimes it's also about the motive. We as men of God, we have got members in the church who sometimes we become their models by our life, our experience, So it also depends with why is the man of God is saying that. If it is out of pride, wow, may God forgive us. But if it's out of, encouraging the saints in the church, then well and good. Because I don't think it's wrong for me to go to my members and encourage them, and speak to them basing on my own personal experience. However, I thank God that until now you don't know the businesses I do, because I didn't front them. I didn't come out and say, oh, Mapanga is in, Mapanga is, I do this, I do that. But as I said to you, it's very simple. You can go on internet and check yourself the businesses we do, the net worth that I have. You can check yourself, but you will never hear me coming out to say such, unless on circumstances where I want to motivate people. We have got programs on every Monday where I talk business to my members. And this is why our ministry becomes successful, because most of our members believe in self-motivation and rising and empowerment. So to say, my prophet amachoka, umakakamba mamba zamanyado, chanchani, wow, it can happen, but it also depends with what are the motives the person is doing that.
I think chimina ntama opa ndija kuti there's a very thin line pamenepo kuti ndikunena izi kuti ndimulimbikitse kapena kuti ndimunyaditse kuti ndili ndi zinthu zimene yeyo alibe. So pamene anthu amakhala ndi kukayikira kuti kwenikweni chimene chikuchitika apa ndi chani, munthu akutilimbikitsa kapena munthu akungofuna kuti ationetse kuti izi ndi zimene ali nazo ife tilibe.
Yeah, but you see, as I said before, that the word prophet, is a destroyed brand, starting from the Bible. No one loved Elijah, you know that. Elijah had one member, and his name was Elisha. Okay? Nobody loved prophets from the word go. Nobody loved Moses, and you read the Bible so many times, and Israel, they rose against him, all of them. So there's nothing good that will come out and people will be like, oh, wow, prophets are doing well. Wow, this is nice. We are being motivated by them. Nothing, as long as that man will carry the word prophet, nothing good will come out by anybody. So, as I said before, you have to motivate yourself. You have to be confident as a prophet. You have to be strong. You have to push. You have to walk out of rejection space, and accept yourself and look forward and see what can I do as a man. Because apart from being prophets, we are also men. We have got family, we have got kids. Apart from preaching on pulpit, we have kids. We have to pay school fees for our kids. We have a generation, we have a legacy to make, So it's not just about being a pulpit person as people think, we are also men, and we also think like men. We also get angry, we get sad, we become happy. So sometimes it comes from that part of, and sometimes people will be like, oh, wow, these guys are fronting and they'll be attacking you. Look at the guys in TD Jakes. They come out, they speak about their worth, and people will be like, wow, we are motivated by these guys. But if a prophet will do that, it's a big issue. You see? So it's just the fact that there's a word prophet. It becomes a very big issue. Actually, if you see those guys, no, now if it is out of chubu, then it is wrong. I should condemn that. But if it is out of innocent spirit, I really don't find a problem with that.
Anthu amadabwa kwambiri ndi mmene munapezera chuma chanu chifukwa mumaoneka ndithu kuti ndi zimene manena mukamatumikira amaona kuti muli ndi chuma kwambiri, ndipo zimene zimapangitsa ena kuganiza kuti mwina inuyo nkhani yopempherayi sikuti mmatsamira kwambiri kwa Mulungu koma kwa Satana, kuti mwina inu mmachita chipembedzo cha Satana. Munamva nkhani ngati zimenezi?
It's unfortunate, it's very unfortunate. It's the most painful thing in life is when one person stands on the pulpit to preach, okay, telling people to leave Satan to accept Jesus, and then on the other hand, people are saying you are a Satanist. Well, it has reached a level whereby to some of us, it's not an issue anymore. We just hear and we look at it as a distractor. We have to focus and see what we want to do. your question on how did you find chuma chachitika bwanji kuti mpeze kuti mune chuma chambiri kwambiri and ena mona ngati kuti nza satana, I will say this to you. The devil comes to do three things: to steal, to kill, and to destroy. Okay? These are the three things the devil does. And I don't think to any person who's normal can think a pastor or a man of God who's preaching the Bible and is telling people to repent their sins and is telling them to receive Jesus could be the devil, unless the devil now is a born again, you know. But I know that that would never happen. Okay, we wouldn't be going to be praying for people to be healed. You wouldn't be spending nights praying for people. However, on your question, kuti kusankhana ya chuma, munapeza bwanji chuma, komaso kuti anthu ena mona ngati chuma cha satana, I will tell you one thing, okay? More especially here in Malawi, is if you are very poor, okay? If you are very, very, very poor, you become a suspect in your family of witchcraft, you know? Not all families, but in other families, the first suspect wa ufiti mubanja amakhala munthu amene aoneka osauka kwambiri. Komanso first suspect amene kuti uyuyu mwina mapha anthu kapena kwa satanic amakhala amene zinthu zayamba kumuyendera. You can agree with me kuti anthu ambiri azigayo mu mizimu amana chigayo ichi anapherapo munthu, chigayo ichi anapherapo munthu. So in terms of wealth and money, I wouldn't say it's strange for people who have got money to be suspected of such. However, my conscience is clear. You know, God is a judge. At the end of the day, we kneel down before the Lord and speak to Him to say, judge me according to your righteousness. My business portfolio is very clean and very clear. It is for some, I mean, it is a benefit, you know, it is to the benefit of some people in Malawi. You know, to say, amweni, kodi munamba bwanji. You know, sometimes you can learn, you know, from someone who did well. That you have asked me this question, yeah, I'm happy that you have done so. My business journey started in 2011 when I invested in a farm, and from the proceeds of the farming, I had a little amount of money, which I bought my first car. It was a Harrier car, and I had this type of ambition of business development. And from the little money that I got after buying a car and the little change I had, I traveled to Dubai with my wife with one aim, to open a company which is called BUSHIRI Consultancy, which is based in Dubai. So at that point in time, we opened a company in Dubai in 2011. What we were doing was consulting. And I mean, pita ku Dubai, kafuna ma visa, kafuna chani, tinasegura office umene kukala ngono kwambiri. And we were here in Malawi, but we had a person in Dubai who was managing that small business. So it was helping people who wants to go to Dubai, wants to open a company in Dubai. All the consulting works, what type of business should you do? So the secretary there would send emails to me here if it's to do with business, because in Dubai, there are what we call different economic zones. There is the economic zone, which has got its own set of rules and differently portfolios. So I had to study that. And if a person says he wants to open a company in Dubai, we would advise. So basically, that's where it started. And then I was picked, I think you're going to remember this, by an organization. Pantaimene yoyo, imashidwa kuti Afriki, which was under national standard. Imene anandisankha kuti I should assist in helping this company to invest in African governments and projects. So I think you remember that time I had even come to Malawi. I met Water Board, ESCOM, I could help with the electricity, with the water. Because at that point in time, I was given some funds by national standard and Afrique to manage the businesses for them. What they were looking for was to penetrate in Africa. There was a competition at that time with China. China was penetrating so much Africa, and they wanted a competition with China. So they needed someone who would move around and find investments, and they would invest in return. So any project I would facilitate to conclusion, I would receive what is called facilitation fees. And it is from those fees that I began to develop myself, buying properties, because 80% of my business proposals, which I would give to governments or to companies, most of them went through because I had to come up with a proper business plan. Because what funders normally look for, it is to see that the due diligence of a business, to say, if we put our money into this, are we going to have our returns? So most companies fail because their preparation of that document is wrong. So I had so many companies submitting their proposals to my company to work on their behalf and submit to this company. And when it goes through, they would pay that company and I would get a commission. So that is what I was doing from 2014, 2015, 2016, and some were actually government projects. So, and there were big projects in different countries in Africa.
Okay.
So that's where I started my journey from those commissions. If you get 2% of a big project, you know what that means.
Okay.
So from there now, that's when I began to invest in agriculture, in properties, etc.
Kuti mulongosolezo sezi ndifua choti nakufunsani kuti kodi sinu wampingo wa satana, nafuna munditsimikizire kuti kuchokera pasi pa mtima pano kuti sinu wampingo wa satana.
Monga ndakamba kale muja kuti ineyo ndimalalikira Yesu, and it is so sad, you know, to name a person such type of a name, you know, and it is completely wrong. I serve Jesus. He is my Savior and He is my Lord. And I'm also telling you now that if you have not accepted Him, accept Him. He loves you.
Are you a Satanist?
Come again?
Are you a Satanist?
I have said no, I'm not a Satanist. I belong to Jesus.
Akutero mulendo wathu program ya Cruise 5 Shepherd Bushiri nyimbo namba 4 ka nyimbo yanje.
Richard Wills, walk with me. I am nothing without your presence.
Walk with me. Pano zukanga kuti ndizanomo kuti muli kuno ku Malawi koma sizanomo ya chifukwa amene munabwerera kuno sizimamveka bwino kuti kodi akuti atabwera bwanji kuchokera ku South Africa kubwera kuno ku Malawi. Mukhoza tuuza mezi na chitikira?
I'm not going to answer you that.
Pachifukwa chanji?
I'm not going to answer you that.
Mwakana kutiuza kuti mudaenda bwanji kubwera kuno ku Malawi?
Yeah, I think I already answered that question. I think here ago.
Yeah, ine simuna ndiyankheko ya.
Yeah, komano nkhani yako ndimeneyo kuti you know when the issues are in the court, is sometimes you are not allowed to comment certain things. So I'm not going to answer that. Yeah, anything to do with how I came, what is happening, why, parali panopo tiyankhe panopo tikatalakwitsa, because as I said, these issues are in the court.
Nanga sipa yapo tisipanaonetse umbono ina lonse oti nzika yabwerera ku dziko lawo.
Kuno ndikwathu.
Ndi kwanu komano
pamene basi nkhani ate kunoko ndikwathu. Inuyo ndikupezeni mnyumba mwanu basi mtakufunsa funso kuti mupanga cha mnyumba mwanu.
Zilengani munthu wake.
Ndikwathu.
Zilengani munthu wake. Mmene mulino.
Kunoko ndikwathu.
Tikomeza kuti
inu mulifunsa funso limene azindifunsa la South Africa osatino.
Inu mai ana.
Kuno ndikwathu.
Tifunsa ndithu kuti kwete minute. Ende kuno ndikwanu. Mwalo wabwanji kuno kwanu. Takulandirani kwa mwalo wabwanji. Tifunsa ndithu.
Ayi, nkhani yake kuno ndimeneyo. Ine ndili kwathu. Nkhani ine onseyo Mulungu akatemenyera nkhondo chizadziwika bwino bwino kusogolo kuchina chitika ndi ichi koma ichichi muchidziwe pakadali pano ndili kumudzi kwathu ku Malawi.
Koma ndiri padaenda kachinyengo ndithu kumpezeke kwanu kuno.
Hayi, ine ndili kwathu basi. Nkhani yake kuno ndimeneyo ndili kwathu. Nkhani atha.
Mukukusowa ku South Africa?
Hayi, ndikumangaso South Africa anga padali pano.
Simukusowa ku South Africa?
Hayi, tikumanga tu yathu.
Chimene chinakupangitsa kuti mupite ku South Africa cho ndi imene chingakupangitsa kuti muzisowa ku South Africa kuti koma inebe mukakhalabe maringa kaenda bwera kuno koma mmaonabe kuti koma ntabwera kumene kucha.
Hayi ndithu.
Simusowa ku South Africa.
Hayi.
Mwapita ku South Africa chibwereni kuno ku Malawi pakati apa?
Hayi.
Simunapite kapena mukana kuti simuyankha komweko?
Nkhani yake kuno ndiyakoti tili kumudzi tili kwathu. Nkhani yake kuno ndimeneyo. Mafunso ena onsewo ndakamba kuti ayi. Chachikulu kwambiri chimene chocho chifukwa kuti nkhani zili ku court mokatakamba muja. sinifuna ndiyesedwe kuti ndiyambe kulongosola nadusa mwizi nadusa mu South Africa anandipanga iza mandipanga plan yotere sindifuna ndifika umeneko yayi koma nkhani yakulu ndiyakuti ine padali panopo ndili kunoko andi tili ku court ndipo ndili chikhulupiriro chonse kuti kumeneko Mulungu atimenyera nkhondo andi choonadi chizatuluka andi chimene chocho ndi chimene muzachidziwa inu amati muzazi wachoona ndipo choonacho chizakumasulani
koma choona itu chili muluma mukuchidziwa pamene muli
ndikuchidziwa
mori munangosankha kuti muruze mukhozonena kuti naenda chonchi apa zinatere
suso ndati ndiyankhuleso koma nkhani yako ndakuti mungadakamba muja chionacho mundivesesete chizadziwika after kuti kukhoti kuja tamaliza
chabwino
zikomo kwambiri
mukumanga mzinda wapamwamba kwambiri tu kumangochi tatuzani zambiri za Goshen City.
So Goshen City is a futuristic smart city located in Mangochi, which has iconic vision to manage African brands as well as international brands. So the main purpose of it is to create a place for tourism, both religious tourism, normal tourism, because we are trying to build something that has never been built this side of Africa. And I believe that it is something that will boost our country's economy and create so many jobs and create so many opportunities for many.
Pakuona kukula kwa ntchito imene kuchitika kumene kuja anthu ena akudabwa kuti abushiri ndalama kuzilenga kuti zoti akhoza kumamangira mzinda ngati umenewu ndipo ena afika pomaganizira kuti mwina imene kuchitika kumene kuja ndi chamati money laundering pa Chingerezi kuti pali ndalama zina zake zimene mudazipeza kudzera mu njira zokayikitsa ndi mufuna muzitenge ndalama zimene zija nkumangira mzinda nkukhala ngati kuzikonza kuti zioneka ngati kuti iya ndalama zosapano zikumachokera uko.
Those are things which normally a man like I, who has gone through almost everything in life, disregard such type of things. I'm a visionary guy. I'm a person who I focus, you know. A simple issue here is money does not produce a vision. It is a vision that produces money. And I don't care what critics say, you know, because criticism makes me to be a critical thinker. Hear this. This project we are doing here, it is not money from my pocket. People are seeing me every day, having meetings with the different banks, and people are seeing me. And people are watching me doing all those, you know. In every success story, there is no money somewhere else. There is an idea. You have to be focused, you have to have a goal, you have to have skills, and you must have networks. So what I'm doing at this point in time, it has nothing to do with having some money and doing it and doing that. No, it is all about selling the vision. And I think you're aware, I had a meeting some few weeks ago in Blantyre where I was meeting different stakeholders. I had a meeting, I called the parliament, some committees, where I was meeting different parliamentary committees. So it's not something to do with money, having money somewhere else. No, we are bringing in different stakeholders, including banks, including individuals, because I have the vision. And I'm selling that vision to people. So people are coming to buy in that vision. So as we speak, we have about 900 people who wants to buy plots at Goshen City. And that's worth, if you convert that, that's worth. And that worth will even help us even to build more. So it's not that there is money somewhere or there is money somewhere. No, it's just a simple thing, concept.
Umabe naona kankhani atalemba mu newspaper kuti 2,000 tourists go to Goshen City in that awasima member la mpingo wawo omwe aja anangobwera kudzapemphera kena akapita kuti akaone kumene kuja ndi apa zolembedwa ngati kuti anthu achoka kunja kupita straight kupita Goshen City.
But you're a journalist, isn't it? And you know the meaning of tourism. You do, right? Yanka nito simukudziwa meaning of tourism. So tourism, it is not just necessarily people who come to see the lake. Kaya anthu abwera za mpingo is religious tourism. The people who went there to see that place didn't come from Malawi. They came from all over the world, okay? And when they came here in Malawi, okay, they came for me, to see me, for prayers. But when they came here, they said, we have heard of Goshen City. We want to go and see that Goshen City. So when they went there, they were not going there to see me. They were going there to see the city. Now, in English, that is called tourism. So whether they are members, whether they are not members, but the biggest story here is they are tourists. There are factors that track tourism. It could be the lake, it could be animals, it could be the church, it could be the town, it could be the city. So that doesn't matter. So let's talk about tourism. Those were tourists who had traveled from different parts of the world, who eventually said, we are coming to Malawi, but all we are coming for, we want to go and see Goshen City. So they are tourists.
We're talking about tourists and people coming to see you. I'm glad that you said that, because I've heard that you are a very expensive man to meet, Mr. Bushiri. Apparently someone has to part with a lot of money to meet you. I wonder why that has to be the case, though.
Actually, you didn't even pay any money to see me, eh? If you can find one person in Malawi who say, I paid money to meet Bushiri. These are just crazy stories. People just
no, but for you to pray for someone, people
that's crazy story. That never happens. Never. That's not true.
People don't pay money so that you can pray for them?
Nobody has ever paid money to be prayed for by me. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. You see, when people are coming to Malawi, okay, they come here to see me, but they have to stay in a hotel, they have to eat, and they have to be transported from the airport, okay? So when they come over here, they pay the hotel, they pay that, and all the costs they pay for, not me. So when people say for them to come to Malawi, they need those type of things. So our church has got a special department that helps people who call from USA. We are coming to Malawi, we need ABCD, what do we need? And then they tell them, oh wow, for you to stay 3 days, 4 days, is this amount of money. For you to have food, so that's normal. So
No,
but that has nothing to do with paying me.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be clear about that, because I know what you're talking about. Those are expenses, travel expenses and things like that. But I'm talking about...
nobody, in short, nobody has ever paid me for me to pray for them. And I say thank you for asking that question, because there are people who actually still believe that and think that the prophet, maybe people pay him to be prayed for. That's completely not true. I actually help people. I am a man who takes my own money and help others.
Pakabanga nkhani zokhudzana ndi inuyo ndi ndale ndikhupa kuti mwakhasomo kuziva nkhani zimeneza. Nafuna ndimve kuchokera kwa inu kuti kodi muli ndi masomphenya oti mwina mtsogolo mukhoza chitako ndale?
No, I'm not a politician, and I have never been thought of politics. And it's unfortunate that, you know, some people who protect their political masters, you know, they even take this seriously on social media and fight me, you know, because when I'm doing charity works, they think maybe I'm trying to campaign and trying to do that. But I'm not a politician, you know, and I'm not even having those ambitions. My ambitions are very clean and pure, and I'm saying this on this interview. I really don't think our country, you know, for it to develop, needs political solutions. You know, our country to develop needs Malawians or Malawian solution, which is a cohesion or collectiveness in terms of helping ourselves. I don't believe that, you know, for someone to assist the people, he has to be in politics. So I don't have those ambitions. I am a prophet and I'm a businessman, and it ends there. And let me also say this, that those people who think I'm a politician, they should stop thinking that, because I'm not a politician.
Fuso inafuna mundiyanke nchichewa nkhani ya zandale zomwezi munanena poyamba kunena kuti mmene munkafuna kuchita zitukuko zanu poyamba pansi pa ulamuliro wa DPP mmakumana ndi mavuto osiyanasiyana ngakhale ntchito zina zothandiza anthu zachifundo mmakumana ndi mavuto osiyanasiyana, koma mukuti chibwerereni boma limene lilipo panoli zinthu zikukhala ngati zamba kuyenda. Tatambasulani chenicheni chachitika ndi chani?
Okay, ndikamba kuti nditamba kumene kumayenda kumapereka zinthu kwa anthu ovutika mungati madziwira muno Malawi anthu ambiri amaona ngati kuti chilichonse chimakhala kampeni umapereka chinthu kuti mwina anthu akukonde ndiye pa nthawi imeneyoyo anthu ulamuliro umenewo ankaona ngati kuti ine ndifuna kuti ndiyimire uchani upresident kumene kunali kulakwa kwambiri ndiye amapanga kwambiri suppress kena kalikonse kamene timakapanga pa nthawi imeneyo nani project tinagawa chimanga kwa anthu ambiri muziko muno kunali njala nthawi imeneja komanso nthawi nake tinasisa mtengo wa chimanga ife tinagula chimanga pa mtengo wodula ndikumathandiza anthu kumidzi kuti azigula pa mtengo wochipa maproject onse aja amapanga suppress kumona ngati kuti mwina ineyo ndifuna nditani kodi ndime za upresident so monga ndakamba mchizungu mucha kuti ine sindine wandale
okay
komanso ambition andalewo mutu mwangamu mulibe
so boma lili pano lisiri kuganiza zoti nimufuna kudzapikisana pa mpando wa president ayi
poti munthu ndi munthu timathabe kumaona be makomenti a anthu ena owasatira asogolera athuwa kuti amapanga beti makomenti tantina mujani ma internet mu Bushiri chanchani mukuona chifukwa kuti ali ndi background aneka ulamuliro wina uja ankayankhula zija ena bamakhulupirira kuti Bushiri yutu khala ngati afuna apange za chanchanche zandale koma monga ndakambira muja ine munthu wa business ine tangoganizirani ndikupanga business panopo nomanga kumangochi kuti ndiyambe zandale iyenda business changati singaenda
mutalowa mboma koma
ayi singaenda
muzingolongosola
ine ndikufuna bomalo kuti akamakapanga ma conference azikapangira
ko mutaka president iso ndiye chikhoza kuthamanga kwambiri
ayi
koma kuthandiza mmathandiza ako zibani zandale mmathandiza koso
ayi
simuthandiza zibani zandale
I'm non-partisan. I've never assisted any political party in my entire life.
Koma ndiye nkulakwitsaso kumeneko nanga simukhoza kuthandiza mukhala mukutukulaso dziko
as I said kuti aliyesa makhala ma policy kapena ma principles amene amapanga base amapanga zinthu so ineyo zandale ayi
ndimaona ngati kuti mwina awawa amakufewera nkoni mtima ifo kuti mwina munathandiza kwambiri pa nthawi imene analovuti
samatifewera mtima koma kumakhala kuzindikira pena zikuza kutheka kuti alipo ena ake mwina ochepa angapo awiri atatu amene mutumu nzeru zilimo ndithu uyuso panga zandale yayi so zimakhalanso pena kuti samakhala asogolera onse nthawi imeneja suda makhala apita mthali kamapanga zimene zija analipo ndithu wanyamatena ake amene amona ngati kuti ateteze master wawo mukuona nde panopo ndithu awiri atatu amathopezekabe ndithu kuti mwina uyuyu afuna zanimbane na bwana athu nkulakwa ili ni dziko lathu andi tisamapange mantha kuthandiza
tinayankhula pano pamene mtsogoleri wa dziko lino ndi Dr. Lazarus Chakwera mumacheza nawo mumadziwana at a personal level
not at personal level komano at a professional level yes
okay
because a man like him for example the project we are doing in Mangochi he has to know as the president of the country so there are official ways of communication. We have to talk to the minister. We have to write formal letters to his office. We are doing this. So that type of communication is there.
Chifukwa imene mafunsa manager ndipo kuti anthu ena amanena kuti ma business ena amakanika kutukuka kapena kukula kuno ku Malawi fayoti amaponderezedwa ndi boma. Mwina osati kuti nsanje koma mwina ma policies athu pena amakanikitsa kuti zinthu zithamange zimene zimayenera kuthamangira sinzoti ino experience yanu yakhala yotani example ya project imene munena ni project yayikulu ndiyofunika amati political will kapena chani mukuona kuti mu dziko muno muli environment yoti ikhoza kulimbikitsa anthu ochita business kuti atukuke
I think that environment is not there. I should be very honest with you. That environment is not there. Yeah, not the government, not this government, but our policies. We're talking about. You have asked about what do my policy? So I think the government can improve on policies. For example, on things like approvals. You know, the project we're doing there is not a project that will benefit my house and my family. It's a project that will bring tourists, economy. Already, so much is being done. So many airlines are being filled up with the people who are coming for religious tourism. Many hotels here are benefiting already. And such type of projects, you know, there should be those deliberate, you know, policies to prioritize projects like those. I should thank this government, as I said, that this government is doing so much. We have had ministers visiting the project, but there is one area where I feel an improvement can be done, and this is on approvals, environmental assessment approvals, where I think sometimes they really take time to meet because, you know, the board has to meet, and sometimes they meet after 30 days and then they come to you to say, okay, we have seen it, but maybe improve here, improve here, improve here. And then after you improve, that's another 30 days, and you come back and tell them, they'll be like, okay, we have received, but give us another 30 days for us to meet. You know, so such type of policies, I think maybe government can, you know, look on how, on all other projects of investors, how can we, you know, mitigate such, you know, so that maybe there could be regular meetings of the boards. I understand that you're able to make a payment to call for the board to meet, but I think there can be an improvement in terms of such, because those are what draws the project and then reduces the investor's will. Because any investment is about a will, you know. It is about the investor's will. Now, and when the investor's will is dying slowly, you know, and that's how many projects in Malawi amayambidwa kumasama malizidwa. If you have noticed, many projects in this country amayamba kumasama maliza, amayamba kumasama maliza, because somewhere along the way palima policy nande na many mwina matopanga delay. I'm not saying those policies must be taken out, no, because we have to comply. But I'm saying maybe they can be worked on in terms of how to improve on communications to make sure projects happen faster.
Pano ndiye mwala watu mboma ara Bushiri. Foto makuona ni misonkhano kupita kukuri kukaa nditu just within a meter of the president.
Kuti kumene?
Tumakuona ni misonkhano.
No, that's not true. That is not true. I've never been in any political meeting in my life. No, I can meet the president in the church. I can meet him at an event. I can meet him at a wedding. Just like you too. Yeah, you're always there. No, no. That's absolutely not true. You know, that's not true. And I was not even sitting near the president. No, I was sitting where ordinary people were sitting. If you refer the meeting in Mzimba, I was sitting where ordinary citizens were sitting. I'm not that level to sit with the president. No. I've not reached that level. However, being a religious leader, I will meet the president in many occasions. I'm going to meet him in many meetings. And of course, even at the political rally, he can even invite me to say, come and pray. I can go and pray. Yeah.
Is that a request that he should invite you, or you're just making
No. No. We don't have to go on and pray where he is. We already pray for our leaders, even in our houses.
Nkani ina imene yagwedeza kwambiri dziko la Malawi ndi nkani ya kumwalira kwa Matse. Dzina anu lachulidwapo. Anayankhula mprofeti wina I think ku South Africa kunena kuti imfa imeneyi anachititsa ndi anthu ena ndipo abushiri anakhudzidwapo pa nkhani imeneyi. Ndikuti nkhani ena ayitengera ku court koma inu simunapitebe ku court ya. Inu ndemangano ndiyotani pa nkhani imeneyi?
Wow, you know, I don't normally comment on what every person is saying about me, because every day there's a story about Bushiri. You know, even now there's a story. Some people are saying, "Oh, Bushiri is admitted."
Oh,
you know? Yeah. There's a story today. Bushiri is in the hospital. I don't know. However, I know how many people will I respond and how many people will I answer every day. You know, It's unfortunate because the guy called Matse, I've never met him in my life. I don't know him. And I'm a gospel person. I love gospel songs. And to hear that my name is mentioned, I tried to think, where am I linked? Where is my name here coming from?
Za Satanism zija. Nchifake nafuna kuti ndimvetsetso chokera kwa inu.
Yeah, but there's no any sacrifice that a person can give that is better than the sacrifice which Jesus already gave us. He died for us on the cross, and I don't think there are charms for prosperity. I don't think so. Because if there were charms for prosperity, then Africa could be the richest continent, because we've got so many charms in Africa and so many beliefs in Africa, but we're actually the poorest. Okay? Talk about Dubai, they are very rich, and there are no charms there. Talk of Singapore. So I don't think that it's unfortunate. I just to say that people until today, they are able to tarnish someone's name, using social media, and it's unfortunate that people believe, believe just Bushiri this and I think Kaurusi and people who are even graduates believing in such. Sometimes I don't feel bad because they are sometimes talking about me, but sometimes it's about our mentality to say, when will our country develop? If we still think and believe that for them to become rich, they have to kill a person, when will we prosper as a country? I think our country must embrace the fact that there are young people who are successful because they're working hard, and we can learn few things from them. And that issue of Matse is unfortunate. I heard about it, and as I said, I felt bad because not just because it's me, but because some people were believing it. And also the names of people who were involved, like people who work in my office, shouldn't be scared of, they will call me a Satanist, they'll call me a Satanist. Mr. Ephraim Nyondo, who works for me, was implicated. He had his own personal relationship with Matse, which I have no idea. And just because someone who works for me or who comes to my church knew someone who died, and it shouldn't be linked to say, then it's Bushiri. So, such type of things, I really don't find them worth to be responding and answering, because they are too small issues and petty issues. I've got great things to worry about. I'm worrying now, how do I build a city? How do I preach? How do I reach out to people? I'm a person who I don't want to be disturbed with my vision. Mm-hmm. People say these type of things, and they want to stop saying these type of things, but I have to be focused. So on that issue, that's why I didn't even bother to go to court. Some of my guys, they had to go to court, but not me, because how many people will I take to court? Because every day people are saying Bushiri this, Bushiri that. Yeah.
Something that I think possibly should worry you is what will happen to your ministry when you die. Are you grooming a successor? Is your ministry going to be as vibrant as it is? And I ask this from the background that most of the churches that have sprouted up in the past decade seem to grow around an individual or a personality, to an extent that there's developed a kind of a cult behavior now, where people follow the person and they trust in the person. Now it's more about the individual than the ministry as a whole. How are you shaping your ministry so that it survives after your death?
I believe in leadership development, and my church, by the way, it is one of the fastest growing churches in the world, which has got different structures and models. And we have a very strong leadership. For example, I'm no longer in South Africa, but my church has grown actually even bigger in South Africa than it was. We had 5 million people before I left South Africa, members, but now we have 7 million people there. That tells you that there is a leadership structure. So in terms of who would succeed and all that type of things, they're in place. Our church doesn't depend on me. It doesn't. If it was, when I left South Africa, the church in South Africa could have collapsed. When I left Malawi to South Africa, here in Malawi, the church could have collapsed. But it tells you, with or without me, the church still stands. So we have a very serious leadership that is there that does not allow me to be directly involved in church affairs. However, the church has to be self-sustained. This is why we encourage churches to be self-sustained.
Akazi anu anthu amanena kuti mmagwirizana nawo kwambiri komanso mukamayenda makauti mumagwirana chanza anthu amadololoka mtima kwambiri kuti banja la chitsazo makhangati banja la chitsazo kuti mupita kukwata pati banja la chitsazo chikondi imenecho chenicheni kapena chongoonetsera kwa anthu kuti anthu azisirira.
I actually didn't even know that people are seeing that, but that's what I do. I love my wife and that's it.
Mumatsanula chikondi chokhathamira kwambiri.
Yeah, we thank God, but I love my wife, and you need to understand where that is coming from. I'm a person who has been fought left and right by my countrymen, by people, by the world, and that woman always stands with me. And such type of a person, deserve the best. And to another person who has been in trouble, be it financially, be it work, and your wife stood with you, you just have to pay her back by showing that you appreciate her. She's the queen, So that's why I give her the type of love, which is the only mango in a tree of guavas.
Tell us about the mango that you found in your wife. How exactly did you guys meet? I'm curious to know the story behind this love affair that we see.
Well, it's a long story. As I said before, that I was praying for marriage and to somebody to love and to marry. And then I met her. And when I was meeting, as I said to you before, that I was into business development at that time. And I kind of had a lot of ambitions, among others, was not just to find a wife who was just a wife. I prayed to God to give me a wife who she's into what I am. I don't want to marry someone who doesn't believe in what I am. Mm-hmm. And secondly, I needed someone who at least has good knowledge, is somebody who understands what's happening in the economy world, in the world like that. So when I met her, it was, we had a fellowship here in Lilongwe. There's a woman of God called Prophetess Kalua. Mm-hmm. So I had gone over there, and that's how I knew my wife. So I was in Mzuzu by that time. I was staying in Mzuzu, and I came to see the woman of God here. And it happened that she had gone there to pray. And I knew her by that time, and we were just chatting like normal stuff, and until then I had that conviction to say, this is my wife. Just a normal love story,
That's not a normal love story.
It is. It's a normal love story.
Normal love story.
Is it divine?
It's not divine. But kachuzikana kama yenda kama mtu ali panjinga kabalasa. Amafanana kwambiri ndini.
That's me.
Ndinu amene uje?
That's me. Yeah.
Ine mona ngana tangu kajudula kuti kazoneka ngani.
No. Tiliposo tina so ndikuenda so pasi tiliposo.
Yeah, koma kama jinga kabasa ukameka na chuka kwambiri. Ataba muzili mbikia muzaka yenga tu. Ali panjinga kabalasa.
Tiliposo tina tapanjinga tiliposo tambili.
Makapiza kwambiri koma do you ever have time to do other things? Mama kupeza kuti basi uku business, uku charity, uku chani weze kuti olanthawi wetu uje konzimbe osaipeza ya. Nanga mwaje zimbe?
Kwa basi.
Tunero zimbe kuisenda tu khala.
Kwa basi.
Mukati mwa muru wawira mufuna kuti ndimumeko mmachita chani?
I would say I like watching movies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any particular kind of movies that was?
Yeah, movies. For example, the men who built America.
Oh. The men who built America.
I think it's a movie.
Yeah.
It's a movie. In the movie. I like stories which I like. Okay, I like my movie. I go to like
These are serious.
She's a serious. She's a serious. Come, I like those documentaries.
Okay.
Yeah.
My documentaries, Jonjo.
Yeah, my documentaries.
Majita was in a sports.
Kwabas.
Garijan.
In the Liverpool.
Asililoa kumende kwe bwana mwana nda basi
gari basi ngata luza ngata wina basi timango sibe pesa basi udata luza ngata wina basi
ino yetu koma ndiwachinyamata ndithu ndino masoko luza zakazano.
Yeah,
muli zaka zingati?
I was born at
1983.
Yeah.
Simnafika zaka 40 zomwe.
Sinafika.
Ndi beberu. Bebe kumankulu ifachi zimene mwachita mu moyo wanu kupanga kompia ndi anthu ena amene sanakonesa zaka 40 ndi zazikulu ndithu. And I think posatengera zina zonse zimene anthu amanena za mmene mudapezera mwayi wanu mwina mukhoza kutithandiza kuti ngati achinyamata ku Malawi ndi chani chimene chikutivuta kuti tipeze mabushiri angapo Malawi muno.
I have always wanted that opportunity where I can address to the youths. You know, I love my country. You know, I am a countryman. I love Malawi, and most people know that. That's where I go, I reach out, I do this, and people mistake that to politics. Well, it's their choice, and I'm not a politician. However, here in Malawi, there are many opportunities, you know, and I should tell you this. A few days ago, I posted something on my social media platform. Yeah, I was on the tractor.
Yes.
And I was in the farm. So I said, if you don't work hard, you will live the rest of your life calling successful people witches, satanists, prostitutes, and thieves. Oh, it was so shocking that it's only Malawi that actually had to react negatively, you know, and that made me, think how our country thinks. You see, we had people from Zambia, South Africa, they were responding differently, but our country, people are like, oh, what is he talking about? We also work hard and we are not rich. There's something these rich people are doing that we don't even know. But that made me to say, I think it's time to speak to my fellow youths to understand. Just starting from that statement, when I said, you will call successful people, I didn't say rich people. There's a huge difference. So that's where I want to start from, to encourage and motivate some youths who are watching me here. There's a huge difference between success and riches. So I didn't say riches, I said successful. Now, you can be a teacher, okay, and be successful in your field. And that's success. You're going to be a journalist like you and work hard and become successful in your programs. That is success. So when I said working hard produces success, people are like, no, what are you talking about? We also work hard and we don't see results. Now, the first thing that I would like to speak to some youths who are watching me now, there are a few things that I want to speak to you, okay? And I'll speak them in few, maybe in a minute or so. But I want you to hear this, okay? If you want to achieve in life, okay, number one, develop habits, okay, which rich people do have, okay? Develop habits which rich people do have. If you want to become rich, develop habits which rich people do have. There are habits which some people live on those habits, and they're the ones that will determine your future. We don't think or plan our future, okay? We plan our habits, and it is our habits that determines our future. Now, for example, I'll give you 2 or 3 habits which rich people do and which poor people or people who are not yet rich don't do. Number 1, rich people, they always have a mentor, or they have got mentors. And these mentors could be books or some people who inspire them in life, and they learn from them, okay? While poor people don't have mentors, all right? They actually look at mentors as threats and they fight them. And you see rich people, they always have got somewhere they learn something. So, number one, develop that. Have someone, if you are a journalist, look for a journalist who can mentor you. If you are a politician, look for a political figure that can mentor you. If you're a footballer, number one. Number two, on the habits, I'm talking about habits. Number two, you need to know that rich people always have goals. Okay, and they've got goals, and these are habits. They have got goals. They don't move out of their goals. They've got something they want to achieve. While poor people, normally, they have no goals. Or if they do have goals, they change their goals. Number three, on habits. We're talking about the habits here. Number three, rich people, they always take risk. Okay, while poor people sometimes are scared of taking risks. And these are habits. So if you are watching me there and you have a plan, you want to start a business, you want to start something, begin to develop some habits. You know that, you know what, I need to learn from someone. You know what, I need to read, I need to study, I need to look for someone who can help me. Okay? And these are habits. We can go to more habits, including rich people. They always surround themselves with right people. Okay? Or which we call networking. They've got people they know, if I need this, I'll find it there, or I need it there. While poor people, they always surround themselves with the people sometimes who don't even matter. It's good to have best friends, but sometimes choose friends who can motivate you and challenge you. And this, I want to speak to you, my fellow youths in Malawi, and motivate you, as has given me an opportunity to encourage you, and that. And lastly, it could just be out of motivation, could be just to encourage you. Believe in the Lord and put your faith in God. There are certain things, they just need grace and God to be on your side. Thank you so much.
Lesunzwa ndimene mwankulira apa mwatenga kale 5 minutes.
Ababamva.
Yeso mawa tidzakarura nthawiya zimene yakula Bushiri.
Ababamva.
We have to wind up. I've got a set of questions which I'd like to ask you.
Yes.
Which you can only answer yes or no.
Yeah.
But first you have to tell me your full name. What is your full name?
My name is Shepherd Bushiri.
Do you have any tattoos?
No.
Do you have any piercings?
No.
Do you have children?
Yes.
Have you ever shot a gun?
Yes.
Have you cried over someone?
Yes.
Have you fallen in love before?
Yes.
Have you killed a chicken before?
So many.
Have you killed a goat before?
No.
Have you killed a human being before?
No.
Have you gotten into a fight before?
Yes, when I was a child.
Have you gotten any surgeries?
No.
Have you ever been hospitalized?
No.
Have you donated blood?
Yes.
Did you get the COVID-19 vaccine?
No.
Have you ever smoked weed?
No.
Would you smoke weed?
No.
Have you ever drunk alcohol?
No.
Would you drink alcohol?
No.
Have you broken someone's heart?
No, maybe.
Have you had a crush on someone?
Yes.
Foja sumunasure wajamba ya?
Aye.
Koma mwa mudama.
Aye, so.
Na unaka video kena ake mkoneka ngati mwajirako.
No.
Vinyo.
No, yeah. Yeah, I remember that video, but you know, I was in the plane, and that was Red Bull. So apparently there are special cups for alcohol. Now in the private jet, those are the cups they serve you. So when you put Red Bull there, oh, Bushiri was drinking alcohol. I've never drank alcohol.
You've got a jet actually, right?
Yeah.
Iri uri ndege manager. Mwana bwera kuno ife mwana ngati ziona ikubola ntambo koma siri kuiona ya.
Yeah, it will come at the right time.
Yeah, in right time
In
ndino.
South Africa, it will come.
Ibwera tiziona kuti ndege ija.
Izabwera mzaiona.
Nyimbo yamaliza program ya Cruise 5 ikala nyimbo yanji.
Wende halawa. Mundisunge ndino.
Pali wanje pakati pa inu ndi Wende halawa.
Nah, she's a member in the church. Yeah, that's all.
Not an ordinary member. I understand she's got quite some influence in the church.
Not in the church, but in my office.
Oh.
Yeah, so in my office here, she's one of people who work so much, and she's in the connections as well as the department of preparation for the visitors when they come from abroad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Timaliza ndi Wende halawa kuwonda kwa mlendo watu program lero ya Cruise 5 a Shepherd Bushiri.
Thank you, Jesus. There's only one name that when you speak, everything shall come to pass. No matter what problem you have or the troubles you have, just call on him, and that name is Jesus. Thank you, Jesus.
No stress. This message is powered by AfriPlus.
InnoBuild Private Limited pokondolera kuti tsopano yakwanitsa zaka 6 ikukutumikirani ikupatsirani 60th anniversary plot sale promotion. Kondolani limodzi ndi InnoBuild Private Limited pokwanitsa zaka 6 ikutumikirani popeza plot yanu lero mwamsanga maplot 50 omwe alipo ku Lilongwe. Guzani Airwing Site 12, Airwing Site 8, Airwing Site 11D. Ku Blantyre Nyambadwe ndi Lunzu, Zomba 4 miles, Salima mbrema mso Sengabe, Mangochi Ndata Site, Kasungu pafupi ndi Admark, Mzuzu Dunduzu. Maplotiwa awatsitsatu mtengo pokondolera zaka 6 zomwe InnoBuild Private Limited ikukutumikirani. Ndipo promotion iyi inayamba pa 25 July ndipo idzatha pa 7 September 2022. Pezani ploti kuchokera ku InnoBuild Private Limited omwe ayambira pa mtengo wa 399,000 kwacha kufikira 999,000 kwacha yokha basi. Kumzuzu a InnoBuild Private Limited alimuyang'aniza ndi bola za masewero la Katoto mu nyumba ya Peace pafupi ndi Reserve Bank ya Malawi, floor ya mwamba, room number 1. Ku Blantyre ali mu nyumba ya Dosani muyang'aniza ndi khoti lakale pafupi ndi shop ya Bakali. Ndipo ku Lilongwe a InnoBuild Private Limited akupezeka mu InnoBuild House mbali mwa msewu wa bypass pa Zamkutu. Ma offices a InnoBuild Private Limited amatsegula tsiku lilonse kuyambira Sunday mpaka Friday ndi masiku ena onse a holiday. Mukafuna kudziwa zambiri imbani foni pa 0888 002 899 0991 148 500 kapena 0993 886 257. InnoBuild Private Limited, kupanga Malawi kukhala wa Malawi eni yake.